Hi, this is Mrs. Patterson, and I'm still looking at the Hello World program we made. Last video, we talked about comments and the different kinds of comments there are. We talked about classes, and we talked about the main method. So, a few things you need to know. Whatever you call the class must match exactly what you save the file as, letter for letter. Java is case sensitive, so that means the word main is not the same as the word main. So if I try to run this program, it was working perfectly before, but if I try to run it, you'll see now it should give me an error. No main methods, because it can't find the lowercase m main. It doesn't understand uppercase versus lowercase. So I need a lowercase m. And now if I run it, it should run fine. Oh, it's waiting for me. Or did it do the output? Did I miss it? Oh, there it is. Hello, Kyle. Okay, I'm going to clear that and we're good to go. So a few other things. I had told you before that this is problematic having this address. So when you save your programs, you're guaranteed success if you save it to the H drive. And by that, I mean go to File, Save As, and you can see right here it's under Patterson, and it's in a weird place. You want to always go to your full login name. So the one that has the drive, not the folder. Look for the drive. These are disk drives, your hard drive platters. So you click on your name here, then you go find where you want to save it. It looks the same to humans, but it doesn't work the same for computers. So now watch the title bar. It's going to change to say H colon, and that's how you know you're in the right spot. Sometimes it does not work when you have the long address. So I'm going to hit save, and it says save over. That's fine with me. And you see now it changed. It says H colon. Okay. And that's what you want. You want it to say H colon. It worked before, but sometimes it doesn't work, and that's the reason. So I'm going to run the program. And here it is. Okay, so the code we write is called Java source code. The language is Java. The pieces we need to have, like the curly braces, the parentheses, the semicolons at the end of most statements, most lines of code, that's all called the syntax of the language. So if you have a syntax error, for example, if I forgot to close my quotation, if I forgot it, or if I put a single quote even, and I try to run the program, it's going to give me an error. It won't even compile if you have a syntax error. So you can see it says here, error unclosed string literal. Then it says error expected semicolon. So one error can cause a whole bunch of other errors. So yep, here's another error, reached end of file while parsing. So that one thing of changing a double quote to a single quote caused me 3 errors. So it's the best thing is to start at your first error. And I think if you double click on it, it should bring you to the line where it is. And let me just try again. Oh, how about here? Up there it is. It flashed the line for me. So I want to go back and put that as a double quote. Syntax errors, the compiler will catch. And so when I go to run or build, Control B, or sorry, if I go to compile or Control B, that checks that you haven't made any typos or syntax errors. I might have made a logic error, like using a less than when I should have used a greater than symbol, or another kind of error like saying hi to Kyle and I misspelled his name. The computer won't check for those things. Those things you need a human to check for. And so logic errors or other errors the computer won't check for, but it will check for the syntax errors. And that's like in grammar in English. So this file is a .java file, and when I compile it, I get a .class file. So it's running the Java compiler. That's what this means. And this is, I'm not certain of these commands, but it runs the compiler. So if I go now and look in my folder where I've saved this work, so I go to my name and I go to my folder, which I believe I put it in this one, and I think I put it in an IJ folder. Yeah. So you can see here the file extension .class. This is the Java bytecode. And to have the program run, your machine must have a Java virtual machine, the JVM, and it can read the bytecode. Now, any kind of machine can have a Java virtual machine. A Linux machine, a Unix machine, an Apple or a Macintosh, a Mac computer, or a Windows computer. And that's what makes Java popular, is that it's platform independent. It's computer type independent. It can run on Windows as well as Macs, as well as Linux or Unix computers. So this is my class file, which is compiled, my Java bytecode. This is my source code. So when you want to open something up, you want to open up your source code. And right now it's thinking to open it with, looks like TextPad, which is, you can edit it in TextPad, it's just not as easy. And here's my joke I was working on, but you can see I did not compile it yet. I don't have a class file yet. File sizes are relatively small in Java, so that's one nice thing. If I try to open up the class file, first it's probably going to say it doesn't know how to open it. So let me just show you what it looks like in Notepad. And there you go, you get some metadata going on. And if I do format, word wrap, and here's all the commands, and I have no idea what they are, but there is some metadata going on, like a local variable table and so on. Oh, there's my output, hello Kyle. But normally humans don't look at the .class file, that's the bytecode, and that would go to the Java virtual machine. All right, let's go back to the code. Our code editor is jGrasp, so let me talk to you a little bit about jGrasp. jGrasp has the workspace window and it has the output window. The workspace window, if you don't have your indents done correctly, you can use this generate control structure diagram tool, which is the indent tool. And you'll see it automatically does the indents for you. And then you can click its companion, which is to remove the control structure diagram, but it leaves it indented beautifully. And that's one of the reasons we love jGrasp, is that it will do the indents for us. Very nice. If you have a lot of code or you want to share code with other people to talk about it, you can put in the line numbers in the editor. These can print, but they're not part of the code. It's just, again, a tool from the editor for humans to see what's going on. The same with the color coding here. Don't change the color coding. It makes it hard for other people to work with you, particularly your teacher who's going to try to debug your code for you. So leave the color coding the way it is. But Java would run fine in Notepad. You could code it all in Notepad and not run it there. You'd still have to compile it, but it would be all just black text. So using jGrasp gives us color coding so we know keywords are purple, strings are in green, comments are orange. It's a nice system. If you don't want the line numbers on, you can just shut them off here as well. Let's see, anything else you need to know for now? You know about save and save as. We've already done compile and run. So we're pretty good with the environment. What's nice with the output section, in case you get yourself into an infinite loop, there is a stop button right here. You can also clear the output. So I have all this output going on. And if you accidentally click here and then print, you end up printing the output. Could be useful. Most of the time there's a lot of garbage there that shouldn't be printed. So I'm just going to clear that out. You could also copy your output and put it in Word or display it in your code. So this is what your compiler area and your output area. But there's this cool piece right over here called interactions. So I can do something like this. I think I can anyways. Int x equals 5 plus 4. And then it should be able to show me, let me see, does I have info? Do I have my variables? I should do, what if I just do x? Does it tell me? Yep, so I can just ask it to show me x. I can do x plus 7, will it, oh, x plus 7, will it show it to me? 16. So it's a nice interactive pane, so you don't have to go through all the trouble of writing code out per se. You can use the interactive pane to show you the results of what your code would do. It's a nice tool to use when needed. Okay, that's all for now.